Through and finds the puck on the left-hand wall, surrounded by Ice Hogs. Puck gets loose. Here's a chance for Nick Sweeney. He scores! Nick Sweeney gets the scoring start, and it's 1-0. He'll bank it in left-hand corner. Sweeney sends it in front. They score!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be joined today by Nick Sweeney from the Iowa Wild. Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who is Nick Sweeney?
Yeah, my name is Swaney. I'm from Lakeville, Minnesota, born and raised, which is about 3 hours north of Des Moines, Iowa. I played high school hockey there before I went and played my junior career in Waterloo, so not too far from Des Moines. After that, I went and played my college hockey at the University of Minnesota Duluth, and it was 4 of the best years of my life. And all of that brought me here to Iowa, and it's been a good year so far.
So playing in Waterloo, did you spend time playing for Coach PK O'Hanley?
Yes, I did. I played for PK parts of 4 seasons, 2 full seasons and part of 2 other seasons. So PK was a huge part of my path to where I am now, and I couldn't be more thankful for what he did for me.
So you alluded a little bit to playing for UMD, and you were back-to-back champions 2017, 2018, correct?
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your experience playing for UMD?
Yeah, like I said before, it was, I think, 4 of the best years of my life. I wouldn't change a single thing that happened. Obviously, winning helps that for sure, but just the people, the friends that I made, the coaching staff. Obviously, school was awesome. Being able to get my degree is something that I'm very fortunate that I was able to do. And yeah, I think 4 of the best years of my life, and yeah, wouldn't change a single thing that happened.
Were you able to watch a little bit of the game earlier today then?
Yeah, I was able to watch the whole game, and nothing new, just playing Bulldog hockey in April and March. And yeah, it was fun to watch.
So you alluded to the fact that you are from Minnesota and grew up there. So being from Minnesota, did you kind of get into hockey, just having been in the state of hockey, or is there somebody that kind of led you towards playing hockey?
Yeah, I think obviously being from Minnesota, I think hockey is kind of one of those things that everyone does. But my dad played hockey when he was younger. He didn't play for too long. He played in high school, but other than that, he didn't play. But my uncle is a coach. He coaches girls high school hockey in Minnesota. And he kind of showed me a lot of stuff when I was younger too. So I started skating when I was 2 years old. My parents got me in as soon as I could put skates on. I was able to, and haven't turned back from there.
So did you grow up a Wild fan in the state of hockey then?
Yes. I did.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Do you have so were you able to attend games when you were growing up too?
Yes, I was. I probably a few every year for my whole life. So it was obviously being drafted, being in the Wild organization now, it's something everything kind of came full circle. And it's pretty cool being from Minnesota and being in the Minnesota Wild organization.
Do you have a game that kind of sticks out that was like your absolute favorite to attend?
Oh, favorite to attend? I've been to a good amount. Favorite to attend? One of my favorite ones, I think, was when Granlund won it in overtime against Colorado to win the series. I believe that was when I was in high school. So that was probably one of my favorite games that I've ever watched. I don't know. I don't have one that I attended. That's my favorite. Yeah.
I remember one of the games my wife and I went to. Guillaume Latendresse was still playing for the organization, and he hit Jamal Mayer so hard into the penalty box door it actually broke the hinges and the door was
really.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that you were drafted in 2017 by the Minnesota Wild. What was draft day like?
It was honestly it was my 3rd year eligible for the draft, so I didn't really know whether I was going to go or not in the draft. A few of my friends were there. I played with in Waterloo. They went in the first and second round, so they were there following along with everything. I was just at home watching on my TV with my parents, and just kind of a typical day. And then I see my name come across the board, and my friends that were at the draft were texting me, and seeing to us to Minnesota Wild was pretty awesome. And that night I had family and some friends over, and it was just a surreal moment. I think, obviously, kind of like we've been talking about, just being a Minnesota kid and then seeing your name get drafted by the Minnesota Wild was pretty awesome.
Did you have any conversations with Minnesota prior to the draft? Did you kind of
so I talked with a few teams. Minnesota, actually, I didn't directly talk with them, so I didn't know what their thoughts were or not. And obviously very fortunate that they were able to take me.
So playing in Waterloo, did you play with Vladislav Firstov when he was in Waterloo?
I did not know.
Okay.
He was there the year after me, I believe. But I saw all his highlights and everything, so I knew he was a special player.
Yeah, I did a prospect report on him last year, and there's been a lot of interest in him, and people are very excited to see him play.
Yeah, for sure.
Who would you say, thinking about your teammates and thinking about your line, who would you say you probably have the best chemistry with on your team?
Ooh, that's a good question. Right now, a line that we kind of started this week, I'm playing with Nolan Stevens. I think since day one that he got traded to our team, we kind of clicked and had that bond off the ice, and I think it kind of translates directly right onto the ice. So I think playing with him is someone that I have that chemistry with.
Is that something that just kind of came naturally, or is that something you guys had to work with? Or
yeah, I think obviously it's so we played a few games together a while ago, and now this week we kind of started practicing and get together again. And obviously we don't know the lineup yet for tomorrow, but we're expecting to play together. So I think it takes a little bit of time, obviously, when you play with somebody new. But I think like the connection off the ice, I think, is honestly as big of a part as the connection on the ice. I think if you have that, things kind of just come naturally on the ice. You know where guys are going to be, and you can make plays. And I think that one of the biggest things is just being able to give feedback. I think both of us are open to feedback, and it's something that we both like to use to our advantage.
Is there a team, if you could pick, that you would love to get your NHL debut against?
I mean, I would just be happy to play any team in the league. Obviously, being able to play in the NHL would be something special to me, and it'd be a dream come true. So, I don't have one team. I think just being able to play an NHL game would be all that matters to me. But I mean, if I had to pick any team, I think Chicago Blackhawks would be pretty cool. Just the storied history and kind of that, I guess, rivalry in a sense, being close to Minnesota. I think that'd be a cool organization to play against.
Now, I interviewed Beckman a couple weeks ago, your teammate Becky.
Yeah.
And I asked him this question, and it was very interesting to hear his answer. And so I want to ask you the same question.
Yeah.
If you could score your first NHL goal against any current goalie, who would you pick? Beckman did say, I will let you know, that he said Fleury, which is now very interesting because he's your teammate.
I was gonna say that honestly is a really good answer. Any goalie right now. I mean, Andre Vasilevsky, I believe, is the best goalie in the NHL, so I think that he'd be a cool one to score your first one on, just because he's the best. But Fleury, I think, is a really good answer too.
Any certain way that you'd love to score? Backhand, 5-hole?
Backdoor tapping, just easy. Just put it.
So there you go. Nick Swaney is calling out Andre Vasilevsky. Yeah. So what's kind of reviewing your season? What's been kind of like your most memorable thing playing in Iowa this season?
For me, I think it was playing on a line with Eric Stahl. I think being able to play a few games with him as your center was something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Hall of Famer, over 1,000 points in the NHL and just being able to have him down here and learn from him for a few games and being able to play on his line, I think is probably one of the best moments that I've had.
He's definitely a fan favorite, and I'm a little jealous that you got the opportunity to spend some time with Paul. So what's been probably the biggest or best thing you've learned from Coach Army this season?
That's a good question too. I think Probably just the work ethic to come in and do it every single day. I think pro hockey is obviously it's a lot different from playing college. I think having that freedom, that schedule is different, having more games during the week, not as many practices. I think it's huge to have that consistency factor and doing it, whether you have a practice or 3 games during the week, doing it every single day. And I think that he's really shown me that that's, I guess, a way to not only stay in the lineup, but be produce in the lineup. So I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned.
I do have some questions that some fans submitted if you have a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So one of the fans wanted to know, when you guys go on the road, is there another city in the AHL that you look forward to going to that's kind of one that is on your list of I enjoy going to that place?
So I haven't been there yet, but we're going there next week. We're going to San Diego, and I heard just from everyone being able to be right by the beach, and obviously you get the warmer weather. I think that's one that I'm really looking forward to. So far, another one that was fun this year that I've been to so far. When we played Henderson, I think Las Vegas is Las Vegas. So that was a pretty fun place, warm weather. I think anywhere warm is a good trip to go, just because here in Des Moines, it gets kind of cold. And obviously being from Minnesota, the winters are pretty cold, and it's always nice to get a little break from the cold.
Yeah, that's Iowans. We always think you guys can keep those cold Minnesota winters up.
Yeah.
So thinking about that also, is there a place that's kind of your favorite place to eat when you guys are out and about? Is there a restaurant you really enjoy?
In Des Moines?
Des Moines or in any AHL city?
Oh, okay. In Des Moines, my favorite restaurant is Fresco, probably. And in any other city, I mean, that's some good restaurants. I don't remember what it's called. We were just in Milwaukee, the Calderon Club. I think that's a really good. We had probably 15 to 20 guys that went there the night before our game because it's so good. So that's a little Italian place, and it was very good food.
Is that kind of your go-to meal before games, Italian or pasta?
Yeah, I like Italian, or steak is always good the night before too.
We had in the USHL back before they moved to Cedar Rapids, we had the North Iowa Huskies, which PK used to actually be the coach for. And their last season, we had 2 guys, and that was kind of their go-to meal. Also, was pasta before the game. Also,
yeah.
So it kind of seems like that's the go-to quite a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's a pretty typical meal for hockey players.
Do you have any go-to warm-up songs or rituals that you like to do before game time?
I actually do not really. I tape my stick when I get to the rink. Other than that, I kind of just go with the flow. I don't like to really keep it. I think if you kind of get in a groove of doing too many things, you're so focused that if something gets messed up, it kind of can throw you off. So for me, I kind of just like to go with the flow. And music wise, I'm also whatever's getting played in the locker room, I like it. So maybe a little rap before the game just to get me going. But other than that, I'm a pretty straightforward guy. If
you weren't playing hockey, what would you like to do?
Play golf, maybe. I for sure something. If I didn't play hockey, like another job, I think for sure something in the sports world. I love all sports. This is one of the best times of the year with March Madness, Masters coming up. NHL playoffs are coming soon, so it's one of the best times of the year. I love doing things in sports. So also that team aspect, maybe doing something with a team or a sports team somewhere.
So who is Nick Swaney's March Madness pick this year?
I picked Gonzaga to win it, so let's hope they get a win tonight and keep it going.
So kind of going with that, I'm pretty sure that I already know your answer, but who's your Frozen Four champion this year?
UMD Bulldogs, easy.
I was going to say, it's got to be UMD. So
yeah,
I've got my brackets in the other room, but that's who I've got in mind, UMD.
Yeah, I got them against Mankato in the final, and I got the Dogs pulling it out.
So Nick Swain and I must be on the same page, because that is the exact same setup I have. I've got the Dogs and Mankato State.
Awesome.
Fans want to know, what's Nick Swaney binge watching on TV these days?
Right now I like Below Deck. It's a reality show on Bravo. They follow along these people who work on a super yacht, and they serve the people and they kind of follow along. It's one of my favorite shows.
Do you have any hidden talents that you want the fans to know about that you want to share?
I do not have. I do not think I have any hidden talents. I played tennis in high school. That's not really a talent, but something that people don't really know about me. Maybe I played tennis in high school.
So what's one of the best things about the fans this season?
I think kind of just honestly just the energy. I think playing the last season with no fans, and it was something that you missed every game. So just being able to step into the arena and see the fans in the building, and the energy that they bring, and how they show they want to be supporting us. It's something cool that obviously last year we weren't able to get. So just, I think having the fans in the building is honestly one of the biggest things that I love about it.
Another fan wants to know, as long as it's PG, do you have a go-to chirp on the ice?
Ooh, honestly, I don't chirp very much at all. So I kind of let the other guys do that, and I'll just kind of lay back in the weeds and I'll score a goal or something. That's I think the best way to get to somebody.
Some of the fans have little kids, and you kind of alluded to that you started skating at 2. My
Yep.
son's 2.5 and hasn't skated yet. But what advice would you have for any of the fans that are wanting to get their children into hockey, or want to know how to go about doing that?
I think I think the biggest thing is just getting on the ice. I think obviously from Minnesota, being from Minnesota, there's rinks everywhere, and whether that's outdoor rinks, indoor rinks, or whatever. But I think just being able to find something that you can get on the ice and kind of test the waters. I think hockey is obviously a tough sport. It's the skating aspect, but also being able to shoot the puck and everything. So I think learning from an early age that how to skate is one of the biggest things. And then from there, kind of going to camps, whether you can find, I know there's camps everywhere, finding camps that you can go to, and kind of just building up from there.
What's something that you want the Minnesota Wild fans to remember about you?
I think just my mentality to give it all every single game. I think if I'm look back and remember that I've given my all every single night, and did everything that I could for the team, it's something that I'd want the fans to remember about me.
I really appreciate you taking the
Awesome.
time to do this. Like I said, I'm about an hour away from Waterloo, so I've heard your name for quite a while, and my mom is a big UMD fan, so
Awesome.
hi, Mom, if I didn't say
Yeah.
that. I guess one other question I have,
Yep.
so kind of thinking about your UMD teammates that are still playing, if you could drop any of your teammates' names to Bill Guerin, who would you say, Bill, you got to check this guy out?
Matt Anderson, I think he's one of my best buddies. He's a 5th-year senior this year. Defenseman who doesn't have a ton of points, but that's not his game. I think he's a shutdown defenseman, and he's such a team guy, and locker room, he's a great guy, and I think that he's someone that he should check out.
All right. Well, I just want
Awesome.
to take the time again to say thank you for doing this. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. And go Wild. Hope you guys have an amazing season.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.